What the heck is happening in the greater Seattle real estate market?
This recent Seattle Times article says Seattle home prices will likely fall in 2023. That won't help buyers. Yikes! Let's talk about this.
Happy New Year, everyone. In this market update, we'll look at the latest numbers ending in December and then look at the current market conditions so that you are in the know.
Also, be sure to stick around until the end so you don't miss our helpful tips. Whether you're a buyer or a seller, you can be empowered in today's market when you have the right information.
The numbers don't lie. Let's dive right into the data. It's important to look at both the month-over-month and year-over-year numbers to get the full picture. Now, this is a really important thing to note. Both the month-over-month and year-over-year numbers show a decrease in the inventory coming on the market across our region.
Yeah, December is typically a slower month because of winter break and the holidays, but the numbers are showing a significant decrease from last year. Snohomish County saw a 37.7% decrease in inventory. King County saw a 34.8% decrease, and the City of Seattle saw a 31.9% decrease of new listings coming on the market versus this time 1 year ago.
Also, across our region, the time it takes to get a home sold has continued to increase. In King and Snohomish counties, it's more than double the amount of time from last year, which is what you would expect given the current market conditions.
For example, in Snohomish County, the average time it took to sell a home in December of 2021 was 15 days. In December of 2022, it took 38 days. For King County, the average was 16 days last year and 34 days this December.
For Seattle, the numbers are a bit better. The average days on market was 21 last year versus this December was 29 days.
Let's talk about the sales price to list price ratio, which tells us how much above or below the list price homes are selling for on average. In Snohomish County, homes went from selling for 4.2% above the asking price to selling for 1.6% below the asking price year over year.
For King County, homes went from selling for 5.3% above the list price to 2.4% below the list price year over year. And in Seattle, homes went for selling for 2.9% above the list price to 1.6% below the list price.
Translation: most homes are selling below the asking price, which is a huge shift from the market just 8 or 9 months ago.
Okay, let's talk home values. In Snohomish County, the median sales price went down from $700,000 to $685,000 year over year. That's a decrease of just over 2.1%.
For King County, the median sales price stayed the same at about $820,000 year over year. And in Seattle, the median sales price actually went up from $820,000 to $875,000 year over year, which is an increase of 6.7%.
When looking at the year-over-year comparison in both counties, values are close to 1 year ago or slightly lower. Whereas in the City of Seattle, values are still above what they were 1 year ago. And when looking at the month-over-month trend, Snohomish County shows a decrease of 2.1%, along with King County and the City of Seattle showing a decrease of 1.2% and 1.1% respectively.
If you're tired of the numbers, you're in good company. Let's just summarize and go over our tips for both buyers and sellers.
But first, if you value this type of content, please be sure to smash that like and hit the subscribe button so you can stay in the know. And please reach out with all your real estate needs. We'd be happy to help.
Okay, here's a summary of the market. First, we have an affordability challenge. Fewer buyers can afford a home. This is in part due to the huge surge in prices that we saw, and even more by the huge surge in interest rates. That's why the Seattle Times article makes the point that even though home prices will likely fall in 2023, it's still not enough to alleviate the financial strain on the buyers.
Also, homes are taking longer to sell. Values have come down and the average home is selling for below the asking price, but usually not significantly below the asking price.
And number 3, we also have a challenge regarding low inventory. That's right, we don't have many homeowners wanting to sell right now. Part of this problem stems from owners not wanting to get rid of their currently low interest rates.
For instance, an owner with a 3% rate doesn't have the incentive to sell their home and then get a new home with a 6.5% interest rate currently, because that's a significantly higher payment. Also, because there aren't many homes to choose from, sellers may stay in their current home.
What's our advice for buyers? Negotiate as well as possible with the seller. Things are more in your favor than 1 year ago. Also, try to get the seller to pay down your rate. This is usually way more significant than a price reduction of the same amount.
Also, the lending world is volatile. The lender who offered you the best terms and rate 3 months ago may not be nearly as competitive today. So make sure you talk with a few lenders and keep your options open. You don't need to commit to that lender until the offer is submitted. That way you get the best rate and closing costs at the time of purchase.
Many experts are saying we'll see further declines in home values over this next year. So maybe you should wait in order to make a purchase. There is a good possibility of that. However, with low inventory levels, you might not have many homes that excite you. So balance this idea of waiting with waiting too long and missing out on the ideal home.
How about you sellers? Every detail in your home matters. Because of the current market conditions, buyers are sitting on the fence. You have one shot to make that first impression. So preparing your home look its best within your budget and timeline is so crucial. Having personally flipped homes and helped hundreds of clients, we understand the importance and the best ways to maximize your return on investment.
It is more important now than ever to price your home right to begin with. This is not a forgiving market like we experienced in 2021. Come out of the gates with the right price and you retain momentum and a certain level of power over the sale. Once your home becomes old news and the weeks start piling up, you'll be at a significant disadvantage.
Also, consider offering a rate buy-down to prospective buyers. This can be a great way to dangle the carrot and offer a major incentive to buyers.
What do you think of the latest numbers? What's your prediction for 2023? Please comment below. We'd love to hear from you. See you in the next video.